Can you hear me? Probably could because I can see. Oh, it seems to be a little bit on the low end. Microphone seems to be a little bit on the low end. Now it should be much better. Let me just get rid of the headset. I really can't believe that I'm doing this. Even after just sitting here and just saying, no, yes, I am not going to do any more Trove content. But here I am. Not only making a short about this update, but now making a stream. Considering that I haven't streamed in over 4 months. Yes, 4-5 months already. This is absolutely incredible. How astronomically bad this update has been. It has been really god awful. And this update is genuinely a disgrace to every single player that plays this game. I am not even kidding when I say this. This is genuinely a disgrace of an update. Previously, I made a short. If you haven't seen the latest short that I made, I essentially just went over probably one of the most egregious things in regards to this newest update, the Tiny Quest update, or yeah, the Tiny Quest. Let me go to the actual hub where they current, yeah. But in the previous video, I went ahead and just decided to go into the collectibles and just check, oh yes, we need Gilderana and the Gilderana. Essentially just covering one of the resources in this update, which is the Gilderana, which you get it from 5-star dungeon. And essentially the fact that the only way to actually just obtain it is either wait a week in, well, 7.5 days, 180 hours, or spend instant complete tokens. But the thing is, it required 720 instant complete tokens. And if we go into the badges, which there are, I went in the wrong one. They're in the gameplay badges. There's 8 new badges, and each of the badges only grants 100. So you needed to complete all 8 of the new badges to get enough for one completion in the 5-star dungeon, for an instant completion in the 5-star dungeon. Just one. Like, you needed to complete all 8 badges just for one. And you need 165 to get for, all of these. Because you only get 10 Gilderana and you need 1,650. So that's all you need. You need 1,650 to get all of them. And if you complete all of the badges, you only have enough for one. And yeah. So it essentially just made it so that you were forced to spend credits on the cash shop to actually just get instant complete tokens, or either that, or just essentially wait 3 years. Because that's how long it takes to actually get enough Gilderana to get all of these. And even if you do all of the 3 quests, which by the way will cost you an arm and a leg because it costs millions and millions of blocks, it still is a year of waiting every single week just to get enough of one of these resources to get all of the allies. Right? Now, they somehow made it worse. Because it used to be, well, obviously it was a placeholder price. It was 1 credit for 1,000. So normally I was assuming, yeah, maybe 100 credits for 1,000 of the instant complete token, which would still be quite a lot, considering that it requires 720 to get one quest completed, and you needed to do that 165 times. So you essentially needed Even with 100, you essentially needed like 10,000 credits or something ridiculous. Now, if I go right here, they made it way worse than I anticipated. In fact, 1,000 instant complete token is 1,500 credits, aka 6 credit pouches for 1,000 instant complete tokens. This is the test server. Yes, this is the test server. So you need, and they haven't done any updates in a long while, and we're reaching towards the end of the month. By the way, they did mention that the update, they wanted to make the update just drop by the end of the month, which is absolutely stupid. They shouldn't bring this update to the live server. I'm just going to be honest with you. This requires a complete overhaul and a complete relook on everything. But now, here's the thing. As a reminder, that you need a 720 to complete a 5-star dungeon. So you need 1,000 to buy the 1,000 instant complete token to get enough for 1.5 quests essentially. But that's not all. And by the way, 1,000 credits or 1,500 credits is roughly $10. So you needed to spend roughly $10 to complete one quest. But that was before. No. We got even worse than that. Remember, it was 720 for one 5-star completion quest. Let me just show you how much you need right now after the latest update. And by the way, they did mention in they didn't mention, they just drop in this update without any patch notes. This is just a random update. Like if you check in the Discord server, there is nothing. Like literally there's nothing. The last update that we got was the update that essentially just rebalanced some of the allies, which didn't mention everything in that patch note. They essentially still changed some stuff without even mentioning. So I'm just going to go ahead, just showcase how ridiculous the prices are right now. Reminder that you needed like 1,000 instant complete token was enough for, well, 1,000 instant complete token was 1,500 credits. Keep that number in mind. Don't forget about it. Keep that number in mind. I can't believe that they actually just made it and they thought, yeah, this is a good idea. What is wrong with them? I am so flabbergasted when I saw, like, the thing is I didn't even see it. Like I didn't even check what was going on. I literally just checked on, I was just on YouTube and I just saw Cash and Clean actually just made a video, and then I just saw the prices. I was like, wait, what the hell? Some of the prices are not right. These are just completely different. So now it costs 5,000. This is 7 times more expensive, by the way. So in other words, you need to spend roughly $60 or $70 for one quest. Which, by the way, it still only gives you 10. So you... It's so ridiculous. Yes, they lowered the amount of allies. It used to be 7, now it's 4. So, and the amount of flux hasn't reduced. It's still 11 million if you go with 11-1 allies. So you still need to level up your allies all the way to like 29 or 30. Otherwise, the prices are going to be absolutely disgusting. Yeah, and the rewards is still 10 Gilderana. And again, you need 1,650 for all of the allies. You need 1,000. You need to do this 165 times. They lowered the time, woohoo, from 180 hours to 168. Like, okay, from 7.5 days to 7 days. Thumbs up. I'm so flabbergasted. When I saw this, I was like, you that's the reason I'm essentially here in like making this stream. Because the fact of the matter is, this used to be 720 and it was already ridiculous. And they decided, you know what, let's just upgrade it to 5,040, 7 times more expensive. Even if they just bring it back to 720, 720 is still a lot considering the prices on each of them. Like, considering the prices that you knew that it requires to get enough for one quest. Because if it was 720 like it was before this patch, it would still cost you roughly $10 just to complete one out of 165 quests. So you need to spend around $1,650. Probably, give or take, is going to be a little bit less. Probably $1,000 just to complete all of them using instant complete token. Either that or wait a complete 3 years. Like, are we being serious right now? So yeah, and I'm going to. Ow, I just hit my wrist. God damn. I'm going to be talking about the quote unquote stealth nerf that I just mentioned in the thumbnail. By the way, I will be checking chat real soon. I'm not. I need to explain this update first, especially for those who want to watch the VOD, so they don't have to get interrupted with a lot of things. By the way, just letting you know. So yeah, the fact of the matter is, which by the way, 45,000 exp, even though it says 45,000 exp, the 2 levels minute, well, 2 levels limit, not per quest, is still right there. So this is going to be enough for just 2 levels. It's not going to give you like the full 45,000 exp on every single ally. It's just 2 of them. So yeah, this is the type of update that we got. This is an update that they did not mention it, by the way, in the announcement on Discord. None of that. I literally just saw this because I was just scrolling on YouTube and saw Cash make a video about it, and I was like, wait, these prices are completely different. Let me just go ahead and go into the test server. Saw that there was an update and just decided to check everything out. And this is where we're at right now. And considering, by the way, considering that they did mention that they want this update to come out by the end of March, we are at the end of March. We are on the 25th. They are planning to make this update like this come out on the live server. They should not make this update. This update should be completely overhauled. And they essentially need to scrap this update and just make it and combine it with the summer update months down the line. Don't drop this update. This update is going to absolutely kill the little player base that we have right now. And there's a lot more things that I need to discuss, but that is like the main thing. They essentially just made the instant complete token so unbelievably expensive, and the requirements to actually just upgrade is just a lot. So yeah, which by the way, let me just showcase a 1-star dungeon. This is Longshade. This is difficulty 15. This is the highest difficulty in the game, of course. So this should be like the most amount of EXP that you should be able to get with one tiny quest. This is going to take you 2 hours, and also, yeah, 73. I've seen go as high of course of like 80 plus. This is 73 instant complete tokens to get one quest. Right here. Like, yay. Yay, yay. And the flux requirement, by the way, still the same. 10 million flux, 11 million flux on the 5 stars is still the same. Anyways, let me just go ahead and just read out chat. If you guys got question, I will be going on to the potential, and I mean stealth nerf. And when I mean stealth nerf, is in quotation, and this is probably not on every single character. Is maybe something that they messed up with stability, which by the way I have 700 stability, which is going to be very very noticeable. Is market back? As far as I know, no. Not even on the test server. Well, obviously, like, you need loyalty to first access the marketplace, but on PC, as far as I know, there's no market. Which is, by the way, take into account that PC has no market, console has like overpriced credit pouches. So if you're planning of grinding this free to play, you essentially have to spend insane amount of flux, not only to get the credits, but also for the tiny quests themselves, because they cost so much flux. And what is the other thing? And on PC, there's no market, so you essentially have to pay real life money to actually just use the instant complete tokens. Because now with the badges, you don't have enough for even a fifth of one of the 5-star quests, which you need 165 again. Now you all realize why I decided to make the video of why I don't want to make more Trove videos in general. Stupid shit like this. This thing just is annoying. That's why I'm just like going to sit down and just make videos on other games. Regardless if people watch it or not, I'm just going to make them. Because I still enjoy making videos, but I am not enjoying this is just so stupid to be a part of. This is absolutely dumb. The one thing that I want to just get is 1,000 total mastery on my main account, which currently at 999. So we have to wait get enough mastery items to get to 1,000. But yes, I'm 999. I will be posting a short about it when I get to 1,000. I guess look forward to that one. I'm also making videos on another entirely different game. But yeah, just for anyone who hasn't now played the game for a little while, PC has no market, console has insanely busted market, at least on Xbox, where credit patches are still like 8 million, 9 million flux each, and pretty much every single other item is like back to regular price. So grinding for credit patches is ridiculous. Like the only exception are like Deepstone, maybe, and the credit patches are like the only two things that are in decent price, like not decent price, but at least like way too expensive comparable to everything else. $972. I mean, at least that's good. But yeah, I really want to go ahead and just check on something that I also noticed when I was, grinding the 5-star dungeon just to see the prices. And that is maybe something related to stability. Because sometimes you're seeing right here that I'm thinking essentially no knockback in general. But sometimes whenever I go into certain 5 stars or certain portals, especially in long shade, this happens a lot. It seems like the stability and the knockback just, they made it so awful. I have footage and recording just showcasing in case it doesn't happen here. Oh god, the lag. Um, but sometimes you're going to get insane amount of knockback and you will be dealing an insane amount of knockback to the enemies. And let's see if I can just actually just find it, or this actually tends to happen, because it doesn't happen all the time. It happens like sometimes, and it's extremely weird, to the point that it made, at least it makes characters like this, like the knight, so incredibly like bad to play, because every single basic attack is going to dish out like insane amount of knockback, and then you have to chase everything down with your basic, and it is absolutely awful. But just going to keep running around and just keep attacking, and then maybe hopefully I can just get it to happen. But yes, they essentially just made it so, for some reason, like the knockback is just so freaking bad. It feels awful. They essentially just made the knockback so incredibly awful to deal. But outside of that, like, I don't know what else like, there's so many things in this update that are extremely baffling. That the thing that I just mentioned with Gilderana and the 5-star dungeon, that is one of the things, by the way. The other things are the badges. It used to be 10,000, now it's 5,000 quests. And the other thing is like getting 25 allies to level 30. That is going to be hell and a half to actually just get, by the way. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting a whole lot. You're doing so much for literally, like, this is Sarubo. All I'm getting is like one movement speed 30 light for a maxed out Sarubo level 30. Like, I was able to actually just level up all of these allies to level 30 before they just essentially just made everything so disgustingly overpriced. And with the instant complete token that they gave us, is just absolutely, I was just lucky to actually just get the knockback is not even happening that much. It's making me look bad. God damn you. But sometimes you're going to get it, you're going to see some insane knockback with a character with 700 of light stability. I shouldn't disconnect it like prior to logging in. Oh, prior to starting the stream, because it was like really awful. Like, I was just hitting an enemy like right over here and he would just get sent flying to the wall. Got face, bro. I don't think so, because it happened literally before starting the stream. It was happening before the stream. It's just something that happens sometimes. It doesn't happen every time. What is the best Shadowhunter? Oh man, that costume is just, there's no best or worst Shadowhunter costume. It's just whatever you like. Check what resources you have and see what you have. I mean, best or worst is just preferential at that point. And some of my favorite costumes are store items, or are store costumes that are not available right now. Just see what you just look what kind of resources you have and craft something. I can't help you with that one. That is entirely up to you. Still can't believe this is so ridiculous. The fact that not only did they thought 168 hours was just a good time, 5,000 was also a great time. Let me go into the lower portals. Now I'm curious. I'm like curious about the lower portal. Okay, so let me see. 3 minutes, 2 instant complete token. It used to be 1, so they increased the 2 now. You still get, yeah, you still get this. This one used to be 1, so then now it is 2. May not seem like a lot, but considering that you need to do 5,000 quests, that means you need 10,000 instant complete tokens, and this one is 1. So sometimes 1, sometimes it's 2. So let me just go ahead and get the instant complete. You still get the tap points, and you okay, good. At least you still get those. The retired Trove player who got the last trophy, 100 GM mastery. From a developer, I'll bring back the old times and fix it. Because, like, to me, if I were the devs, I would just stop focusing in adding new stuff into the game and focus in fixing some of the old stuff. That's it. Not even bring back, no, not even just remove stuff. No, just focus on fixing stuff. Don't focus on adding stuff. We don't need more stuff at this moment. They need to just rebalance stuff, re-add stuff, and do everything. Because if they do that, then the game is going to be ultimately just way better. Yo recomiendo para conseguir Flux. Depende de tu plataforma. Si juegas en PC, no lo sé porque no hay market. Si juegas consola, uy, yo no sé. Eso yo no sé. En Xbox yo lo único que yo sé que son los dips, son lo único que se venden bien. O vender cualquier basura. I don't know. No juego el juego suficiente para ya aprender los métodos. But yeah, genuinely they... Okay, let me just check this quest. Just 2 minutes. It's been consistently on the lower end because sometimes this can go upwards of to 15 minutes. But this is the lowest quest. This is the lowest quest. The lowest portal that you can get this type of quest. Which, by the way, you can also just get vouchers, and these vouchers, these are some of the most pointless resources that they've implemented in this game. God damn. Oh God. Oh Lord, help me. Because you'd still need those coins, or those tokens, like those vouchers, for these boxes that will amount to absolutely nothing. These EXP potions, like, why do you need 1,000 and you still need 100 Gilderana, which, like I just mentioned, you still need to do 5-star 10 of the 5-star dungeon quest, or no, the 5-star dungeon tiny quest 10 times, which have fun spending 50,400 instant complete tokens or waiting 10 weeks. just for one EXP, one EXP potion. And then they also added this resource, which we still don't know how the hell do you actually even get this. Maybe as a rare drop? Who knows? There's also the Transcendence Tat, which costs 1,000 credits, which are used for these. Or they're either these or like really rare drops from quests. Which, as a reminder, you still need Gilderana for these, and for this one. Before anyone just goes, oh yeah, but you can do this up to 6 quests. Yes, have fun spending 1,000 Gilderana for the 6 quests, 100 for this one, so waiting 10 weeks for this one, and then waiting 100 weeks for this one. If you don't want to use instant complete tokens, which by the way is 5,000 instant complete token for 10, and you only get, so you need to spend, you need to buy this 5 times and this once. So that is 7,650 credits. That's all you need. 7,650 credits for one quest currently in the 5-star dungeon. That is, I don't know, a solid like $50. Or buy the 30, around $40. You know, not bad. Just $40. Yeah, why not? You spend like $40 for one quest. Let me just check. Hold on. Let me just. Where's my calculator? Calc. So. Okay. That's not bad. I need to spend. Hold on. Where is my. Oh, yeah. This is how much you need to spend. Does everyone have like $6,600? And if we're being a little bit generous, like you could say it is 150 OP, so you still need to spend like roughly $6,000 worth of credits. That doesn't sound so bad. Question mark. You got it. So yeah. And all of that for these allies. But let's trace back from the allies. Let's just say you don't care about the allies. And more than likely, everyone is not going to care. So let's just say the 5,000 tiny quests. How much do you need to complete the 5,000 tiny quests? Seeing that the amount of instant complete tokens is roughly 1 or 2, depending on if you're doing, like, depending on the quest that you're getting at. So for the most part, let's just say you only get 1, so you still need 5,000 instant complete tokens. Let's just say you are going to get obviously 300 of these, so you need 4,700. 4,700. So you need to buy this roughly 3 times. So no, 4 times. Or 4 times you need to buy this one. So that would be times 4 plus 750 plus, I would assume that you're going to end up buying this one twice. So 300. 7,050 credits. That's how much you need to actually just complete the 5,000 quests just by getting all of the ones, every single one, which is again roughly $40 and 5,000 dungeons. But yes, $40 and 5,000 dungeons. That's how much you need to complete at least, you know, the 5,000 to complete the badge. So it used to be 10,000, which is the craziest part. This one used to be 10K. They reduced it to 5,000. They also removed one of the badges. It used to be 9 badges, now it's 8. It used to be something like, I believe it was this one. Look at the look at this too. Look at the gradual increase. This is hilarious. Holy. Look at the gradual increase. 50, 500. Okay. 1,500, 5,000. And then reach 1 ally at level 10. 5 allies at level 20. 6 allies at level 30. And then 25 allies at level 30. Hey, yo. Normally, it would be more like 1, 3, 5, and 10. That would make, you know, a little bit more sense. This one would be like 1 at like 10, 50. I would probably say like 10, 50, 100, 250, and 500. Like similar to something like Leviathans or something like that. Like, look at how they did the Leviathans. 1, 10, 50, 100, 250, 500. This is 2000, and this is Trove back in 2019. 19? Yeah. 2019 is when they added the Leviathans. This is Trove back in 2019 balancing. 1, 10, 50, 100, 250, 500. Leviathans are, you know, a little bit, if with a group is a lot easier, and now even more easier with Dells. Now 2026 Trove balancing 50, 500, 1,500, 5,000 on something that takes equally, if not longer, than Leviathan, and bring you less benefit across the board, because the Leviathan at 250 gives you the Permatorch, the best banner in the game. This only gives you mastery or instant complete tokens that are going to be useless for everything outside of going for the 5,000 badge. And the other one is like this one, like reach the allies level. This reminds me of gardening. Was it gardening the one? There was one that also was it gardening, or was it something different? Maybe gems. Oh yeah, the gems. Stellar gems, max stellar gems. Upwards of like 9 or something like that. I'm just flabbergasted. There's not a lot of things for me to say. You know, doing the event, I already did it on on my main account. I don't need to do it here on the test server. Which, by the way, they still haven't fixed the ally. The ally still, for the people who completed like day one, they still are missing 20 mastery points. In the for consoles, by the way, which it is definitely something to keep a note of. But yeah, that's essentially the whole breakdown of the whole update. I don't know if I need to talk about a whole lot regarding the update. Yeah, the other thing is like the flicks. If you don't know how to get the flicks, very simple. Like those boxes that you got for the tiny quest, you're going to get some resources. Oh, this one gives you 500. Oh boy, a 10th. For one of these, I'm going to get a 10th. For one 5-star dungeon, anyway. But yeah, this is how you get flicks. You're going to get new boxes, and those new boxes are going to drop these resources. You look collect and get flick, which I believe you still need 168 or 185,000 of flicks to get all of the allies, because it's 5,000 for this and 50,000 for this one. Again, makes absolutely no sense. Why like these allies are just way more expensive. I know, because these allies were like the first ally that got introduced in this update. So these were the allies that got added with the launch of this update on the test server. These got added later down the line. It used to be 13 allies, now it's 20. Well, technically 23 with this. The simple tiny key, I don't know why the hell it costs like 100 of these Apple visit token. Like you can easily just get this simple tiny key. I don't know why the hell they just made them so expensive. Same with this one costing Cubis 500. Like devs think like we are swimming in Cubis like all the time. Like, by the way, before they just made it drop from the boxes, like the only way that you could have obtained Apple Challenge coin was qubits, which it meant like you needed like 250,000 qubits for one ally. But they essentially like when I was crunching down the numbers and doing the math behind a bunch of the things, that's when they essentially drop in the update where they drop these 3 allies, and they essentially just made changes to well, essentially they just made this area in the hub, because everything in this patch was like right here. Now they moved it all the way over here. And yeah, this used to be like the only way that you could obtain this were through qubits, and it was like 250,000 qubits. So if they didn't change it so that it is now easier to actually just obtain this Apple Tour Challenge coin. Like essentially the only way was to spend like 3 million qubits to get all of the allies, but they changed it. Now getting the coins are like these coins is not too difficult. The only problem is like you need at least like level 10 plus allies or something like that to actually just start getting them. Or not. No, I think you'd still need like very high level allies, like level 28 plus or something like that, which is a pain in the ass to actually just obtain. Which, in case you don't know how to level up the allies, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's like doing the tiny quest. Once you actually do the tiny quest, you send the allies to the quest and you get the XP. It's not even that difficult. It's just expedition from Palworld for the most part. So what I did to actually just level up my allies to level 30 on the test server, because I had like a bunch of instant complete token, was doing this Candoria. Candoria seems to be like the cheapest while still giving enough like pretty good EXP, like 900 EXP, and it was relatively cheap. Now it's 14. It used to be like 3. But yeah, you just keep doing that and you are going to get like 900 EXP. And for something like that, this is like enough to level up. Like for example, level 13 and get 900 EXP. But that's not enough. So I need like 3000 EXP. So I need to do this like 3 times and I get a level. Like it was consistently relatively easy to level up the ally. It took me like less than an hour using instant complete tokens. But they made it more expensive, so now it is less approachable. Which, by the way, this 23. By the way, just speaking of which, how much now do you need? So let's assume you need, because you need roughly 65,000 EXP or something like that. It's essentially the 16-bit limit, so 65,000, something like that. So you needed to complete roughly, let's just say 70 times. 70 to 75 times to get an ally from 1 to 30. Take into account that it will cost you from 10 to 25 instant complete tokens per, and you essentially do the math. It means you need to spend roughly like 1,500 instant complete tokens just to level up one ally from 1 to 30. And then you can just use those tokens, or you can use the level 30 ally just to get the high boxes to get the other stuff. It's just something like that. Yeah. When is the update coming? Hopefully never. But I don't know. Probably by the end of the month, maybe this or next week. Like I would probably say next week, considering that they haven't dropped anything except this update that they didn't announce or anything. But yeah, hopefully never. I really hope that they never drop this update, or rather wait. That's the thing. And let me see if I can just find the, or I can just get the knockback stuff that is just going on. Dude, now you're making me look bad. God damn you. God damn you, video game. Enemies will just, they made just the knockback so disgusting nowadays in Trove. Like it's so bad. But right now it doesn't seem to be like working, or it doesn't seem to be like happening right now. But the thing is, I was literally pushing stuff like even clamps. I was pushing clamps like all over the place. It was ridiculous. These enemies will get sent flying across the map. And I am noticing the knockback from the enemies themselves, which is definitely something that I would 100% notice. But at least it's working as intended. Thank God. Yeah, sometimes it would just not work at all. $5,000. Yep. And then they did not lower the prices either. That's the most disgusting part. The fact that if you're trying to rush using an ally like level 1 ally and 5-star dungeons, you're ready to spend tens of millions of flux per ally on a game with no market for PC, by the way, or PC that where PC doesn't have a market. So PC doesn't have a market, and they expect the players to spend a ridiculous amounts of luck, and no one is just talking about it. What is going on with this? Let me just check something. I'm just going to check on Discord real quick, because just as a reminder that the only 2 updates that we got were, well, we got the quest, oh, not the patch notes for the original update. Then we got the first patch note, which was fix an issue where the embarkation station would sometimes find a spawn inside the other object. This was like, I believe, like a week after. Yeah, a week after they drop in the update. And then they added a tooltip on the side panel that they essentially just fixed some of the early problems that this update had. And then the last update that they drop in on the Discord server was the fact that now allies go up to level 30 because they used to go to level 31, even though the stats would be exactly the same. New tiny quest section and hub added, so essentially the NPC that got moved from like the main spawn to the corner, like the frog NPC on the hub. And now that the ally essentially just give the stats every 5 level instead of every 10 level, which happened a week ago, and that was the last patch that we got. And this patch happened possibly in like the maybe last couple of days, maybe in the last, like, this last week, I would probably say. But we didn't get any announcement or anything on Discord. And I'm checking here on the the official announcement for like the game itself. Nope, nothing. They only talk about like the trophies, like the trophies of 2026. And that's it. We didn't receive any update whatsoever. Let me do this 5-star dungeon. I think I wasn't able to actually just obtain. Okay. Why is it every single time that I do a stream or a recording, it's like, especially a stream, it's like everyone decides to use their goddamn trucks and be loud as hell. Like, goddamn. But I would like to just mention a couple of things before I go. This was supposed to be a really short stream. I just wanted to highlight this. I didn't want to write it down in a community tab. I just wanted to just sit down and just showcase how god awful this latest update was. This literally was a disgrace of an update. I'm just gonna say that much. But the thing that I would like to mention is, again, more than likely I'm going to just start making videos on other games. Obviously, I've been doing that. I've been working on a video lately. And that video more than likely is going to come out by probably the end of the week or next week, if depending on how I work on it. I was going to work on it before this stupid thing happened, but this had to take a little bit of priority over the the video making process. It was an old video that I scrapped a while back, but now I have it. The video is turning out to be really good. They dropped the update? No, hopefully they never drop it. This update sucks ass. It's so bad. It's the test server. I'm not getting any of the problems. See if I can just find the footage. Let me go first and check what I mean by the problem with the knockback. Hopefully I didn't delete the whole. Hopefully I didn't delete the footage. That would be tragic if I do. If I did do that, that would be extremely tragic. Okay, let's see if I shut up. And this was like an old recording. Oh yeah, by the way, let me show you something. So let me get rid of these. Just as a proof, this was how it used to be. This is how much you spent before. 720, and you got 15. Now it is 5,000, and you get 10. Okay. Whatever you say. And yeah, you level up. You essentially just go out of your way, spend so much time and effort just for 30 light and 4 physical damage on a Scorpius. Nice. Like, that is so absolutely pathetic. This was not the footage, by the way. Let's see if I can just find another one. Alright, this is same old. We have another one. Please don't tell me I just deleted like an idiot. That would have been so tragic. No. I'm trying to find it. Because I know that the knockback on the enemies is just far worse. And it also did happen. Oh yeah, this was. Remember this one. Where is it? What about the new class that they've been talking about? I don't know. This update was out of nowhere essentially, so we don't know what. I don't know what the hell they're even thinking. If I'm being honest with you, I really don't know what the hell they're even thinking. Ah, there you go. There's the footage. Found it. Found the footage. So look at how the enemies are getting pushed back. Like really far back. Like look at that. Look at me just chasing enemies down. This is a thing that happened pretty much ever since this update came out. This is what I did mention about the quote unquote stealth nerf because it just creates so much knockback for every single thing. That it essentially just make it so that you have to chase everything down. Especially like on Curse Call is like more egregious. Like more egregious on something like Curse Call. Like I'm even pushing clamps. That's the most disgusting thing. Like clamps is even getting pushed around with a regular basic attack on the knight. Yeah, enemies are getting pushed back. So don't know what's going on, but at least that is something. Doesn't happen very often, but it happens. It is very, very annoying. And it just feels awful to play. It doesn't happen often. Like it happens sometimes. Like right now, it's not happening. But before I started this stream, it was happening. Like it also was happening where I was getting knocked back really, really far back, and the enemies were getting pushed back like crazy as well. Like this is how it's supposed to work. Like you can easily tell. I don't even need to chase them around, but I was chasing them around, just trying to, trying to hit everything. Because if I was just standing still, the enemy would just get them flying. So yeah, that's what I meant by the stealth nerf. It's just something going on with stability that is making like the enemies just pushing you back much farther, and like pretty much not working. Like stability not working at all. Don't know what's the cause of it. I don't know what's going on, but it does happen. Oh, there it is. I just saw that enemy getting pushed back like crazy. Let's see. Let's see if it happens now. Yep, look at this. Man, getting pushed around like everywhere. This is what I meant by the stealth nerf. Everything just getting pushed back like really far back. And I'm getting knocked back like everywhere. Like ping pong. That's that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Mind you, this is a character with 700 stability. Even if I activate my ult, which increases stability by double. Yeah, that's the amount of pushback that I'm getting by one enemy. So you get ping pong knocked around like sometimes. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is Geo top side. It might be like something like long shade. But it is god awful how it feels sometimes. It literally feels god awful. Which I don't know how the hell you messed this one up. Like, I'm not using Marshall just to showcase the knockback. And I'm just using this character. I don't know if this happens with like all of the other characters, because I don't have the other characters like strong enough to, or at least I don't have a good enough classroom to actually just start doing this consistently. Nor I'm not even going to try to bothering trying to check everything out. Yeah. I don't know if I answered the question of the marketplace working. No. On PC, no. Market is still not functioning. Look at me chasing around enemies because I don't know what the hell they did with stability, but now you had to chase everything down. It feels like you're playing on ice skates or something. It is so awful how it feels. Like, it feels really, really awful. Sometimes I just have to disconnect, reconnect, or move world or something like that so that it fixes itself. But as it stands right now, like that is what is happening. And it's just like, it's not only the 5-star, it's like pretty much everywhere, but it happens more on the 5-star dungeons, which is why you do long shade in the first place for the most part. Obviously, if you're not grinding gems. If you don't need gems, then literally only 5-star dungeons, and that's where you're going to spend the majority of the time. And if it feels this awful, like you're removing the only thing that just makes this game good, and that is at least still the gameplay, but adding this insane amount of knockback on stuff, it makes it way less enjoyable. Let me just complete this 5-star. Probably do a TLDR for anyone who still don't know what's going on. And then once I go into the TLDR, I think I will just end it off. I don't think I need to do a really long stream because this update is just absolutely astronomically awful. I still can't believe they increased the token size by like 7 times. It is insane. Man, look at this. Look at this knockback. Like, what the hell were they thinking when they made this? I would assume this is a bug because it sometimes happens and it doesn't, and sometimes it doesn't. So I would assume this is a bug, 100%. A Trove and bug go hand in hand. Where stability is like not working, and like everything just gets knocked everywhere. Look at this, knockback everywhere, knockback, knockback. And look at that. By just pushing the enemy across the map just by smacking it right, left and right. Okay. So it's a quick TLDR. It's a reminder that we did not get this patch notes on the Discord server. So unless you actually went into the test server yourself, you don't know that this is even happening. So first of all, they officially put in the prices on the instant complete tokens. As expected, they are they here in the store? Do I have to go into the hub for? I think I need to go to the hub regardless. Either way. For 1,000, at the end of the day, for 1,000 instant complete token, it will cost 1,500 credits, or the equivalent of 6 credit pouches, which is $10, give or take. That's how much it will cost 1,000 instant complete tokens, roughly $10. Before, it used to cost 720 to complete, again, as proof. I'm not talking straight out of my ass. This is pre-patch. This is old footage. It used to cost 720, and it gives you 15 Gilderanas. Now, it costs 5,000, 7 times more expensive, and you get 10, which is what we got like in the previous patch. Did the crafting recipe were made cheaper? No, they were not made cheaper. So now it requires less allies, yes, but the prices is still the same. It's still 11 million if you're trying to go with a level 1 ally. It'll cost like 3 million or something like that if you want to go into a like level 13 ally. So you still need like level 28 plus just to not get ripped off. And the EXP that you do get is still limited up to 2 levels. That did not change. So 45,000 EXP is more like you are getting 2 levels for 1 ally. So in other words, you need roughly 4 allies at level 28 plus to actually just not get ripped off in terms of luck. And then you have to essentially spend either 5,000, which I made the calculation, it was roughly $40 worth of instant complete tokens for 1 quest, or wait a week. Those are the only 2 options. Either spend $40 or wait a week. Just to get 10 of these, and you need 1,650 to get all of the allies. So you need to do this 165 times. As a reminder that you still need a complete at least 4 allies at level 28 plus, which to get those allies, you still need to wait days or even weeks to actually even get to that point, or spend like, how much is it? Roughly $10 per ally just to have enough. Well, I would say roughly like $15, give or take, in instant complete tokens just to level up at least 1 to 2 allies to level 30. And once again, that's the requirement just to get to this point. And then you have to do this 165 times, or roughly 10 times, 5 to 10 times per ally, to get enough of this resource to get every single mastery. And that's not taking into account the badges, which there you need to complete 5,000 of these quests. And once again, 5,000 of these quests, if you're going with the lowest portal possible, it will still cost you around, again, this amount, 5,000 instant complete tokens, which then again is like $40 just to have enough, $40 worth of instant complete tokens. All of this on a game that has no marketplace on PC. The Xbox or PlayStation marketplace is just completely busted because credit pouches are still 8 million plus per. And you are doing all of that just for a couple of mastery points that no one is going to even care about because the allies suck, are complete garbage. And the mastery points that you are going to get, or the rewards that you do get right here, are not even worth going for outside of the mastery points. Like, because all of these rewards are just going to be used for like the new tiny quest. This is not the same as something like the Leviathans, where you complete it and you get the permatorch, or at least you do 215, you get the permatorch, the best banner in the game. You only get resources for the tiny quests, which again, like I just mentioned, they are completely worthless. And even if you do complete all 8 badges, that's only 800 of the instant complete token, that which is not even a fifth of what you need in order to actually just complete one quest on the 5-star, which then again you need 165 of them. All of this while messing everything up with the stability, where characters like this one, like the knight, is just doing insane amount of knockback with the basic attack, which makes the character just feel much worse to play. And combining all of that with recipe items that are probably very difficult to get, because you get them probably only for completing the tiny quest, which there are 13 of them. And some of the other crafting recipes which made absolutely no sense, like, oh yes, now you can just complete 3 quests at the same time. What do you do? Because why? They're so dumb. Like, the devs are just so dumb. It's unreal. It's unreal how dumb they are. I'm sorry to say this. I don't want to be. I don't want to be this direct, but they are. I just feel like I just got a slap in the face with this update. Like, here I am just feeling bad, just saying, I want to step down for making Trove content and just making other videos, because I've been doing this Trove content for over 7 years. Like, deep down in my heart, I still feel like I still enjoy this game, and I still feel like this game can just improve. But after just spending 7 years doing content for this game, and then 9 years playing this game in general, this update just feels like such a slap in the face towards everyone, especially those who played this game a decent amount of time. And it is always because they always go with the notion of, oh, we don't want the players to complete the update in 1 week. Like, at the end of the day, players that are at the end game are going to complete the updates much quicker than everyone else, because it's literally their only focus. That's number one. Number two, who cares if the update gets completed in a week? You just put it. If the players want to spend insane amount of time in completing the update as fast as possible, let them. But not like everyone else should not be punished because you don't want the certain few players to complete the update really quickly, which is what happened with the introduction of the 10th life with the Mystic Gems. When they added Mystic Gem with the 10th life, they essentially just made it, oh yes, we don't want the players to finish the update really quickly, so we limit them in using their insane amount of 9th life. And look what happened. A lot of people completed found a way to actually just get the Mystic Gem shards to level up all of their gems, and they finish essentially upgrading their characters to max out in a day. And even for people that didn't do it, like myself, I did it in a week. I grinded, like, it was literally the only thing that I needed to do. I just sat down and just started grinding, and within a week I just finished all of my gems, and I got it to level 30, which I have stream footage of everything. Stream footage, literally live footage. I did all of that in live stream, and there is even a short where I showcase, hey, this is how I did it in a week. This is me just doing it after a week after the update came out. People at the end game are going to finish the update much quicker than everyone else. That's just natural. That's just how it is. You cannot make the update so that people cannot complete it in a week, because it's going to end up hurting literally everyone else. That's why you put in an insane time requirement. That's why you destroy essentially any sense of making progress in this game. Like, why in the hell should I spend, essentially just spend 10 weeks worth, or 10 weeks of my life do I have to wait just to get one out of 20 allies? Or 5 if I want to go with this one. This is 1 out of 20 allies, and these are the cheapest ones, so there is 1 out of 7. Then there's 13 of them that are just more expensive, which is only for one of the 4 materials, which, by the way, we still don't know how to get this one. And the allies at the end of the day are not great. Yes, the 450 light, we don't need more stats at the moment. Like, with the stat that we have, we're doing really, really well. It doesn't even matter. Like, this is just pointless. And is it going to be better than something like Heck Mantis or even the Mana Beast? Probably not. The Heck Mantis and Mana Beast are probably going to even be better, because you still need to level up those allies that are already like the strongest allies in the game before actually even getting a chance of getting these allies, because these allies require Gilderana, which require 5-star dungeon. And to get the 5-star dungeon, you need level 30 allies. So by the time that you start getting the resources for these allies, all of the other allies that were already like stronger are going to be probably already at level 30, which are going to end up being stronger than this ally at base. And do you think people are going to end up just getting this ally and level them up, all of them to level 30, just for potentially, just for potentially doing equal or less damage than the ally that they already have? Probably not. Like, at the end of the day, they really screw this one up. This update is a big slap in the face towards every single player that in this game. It is genuinely a disgrace of an update, and I'm genuinely just disappointed, despite having no hope, which is incredible how you managed to do that. Someone with 0 expectation, you still managed to disappoint. Which, by the way, these things right here are pointless, so because you still need 1,000 of the Gilderanas and everything. So even if you do lower the amount required for one 5-star dungeon quest, the only way to get instant complete tokens is by doing the one-time completion badges or the store. So it's either get it once or the store. And the other one is just the Transcendent TAD, which are very rare drops. And very rare drops in Trove means essentially once in every never. Because very rare in Trove is just a like 0.001% chance. And even still, for one Transcendent TAD, you only get 500. Like 500. That's not even a tenth. You need 5,040 for one quest. No, like, legitimately, this is the worst updates of all time in terms of execution. This is by far the worst update of all time. In terms of execution, this is the worst. It doesn't even come close how terrible this update is. Because despite what many people will say, oh yeah, Trove has always been pay to win. Trove has never been pay to win. Like, for the most part, the most pay to win that we've ever gotten was like 10th Life with Mystic Gems, recently at least. And it was still pretty dumb. It's like everything related to gems, but like outside of that, like pretty much everything else is like, it's not necessarily pay to win, it's just that it takes forever to get everything. So that people already just throws everything under the bus of being like, oh yes, it's just pay to win. It's not. Like, top of the update this year that we got, like the Trials of Luxion. Trials of Luxion is It's just an insane amount of grinding. And yes, you can technically just say pay to win for the dragon coins, but you still need to grind a whole lot of venturine, and the problem is the venturine. The dragon coins has always been a problem, but it's always been a problem even with Luxion. And the item that the Trials of Luxion brings is old items. And some of the new items, there aren't very many new items, and for the most part, it's just the venturine that's the problem. And obviously, the dragon coins are a problem, but the dragon coins always been a problem. But no, this one is genuinely so bad because it forces the player to buy the stuff. This is forcing the player to buy the instant complete tokens. That's why it's so bad for me. It's like the players, the only way to obtain this is from Transcendent TED, which is extremely rare drop. Either, in other words, you are never going to get it. Credits, store, or the badges, which is a one-time completion. Those are the only three ways that I know of that you can obtain instant complete token, and I don't think there is other ways of obtaining it, because as far as I know, these boxes, even the gold boxes, don't give you any instant complete token or any transcendent land, not even like the gold one. And if we're talking about the stellar one, like the one that you get from the 5-star dungeon, that means you still needed to get either wait a week or get 5,000, like roughly 5,000 of the instant complete token just for one completion. Can I even buy these? Of course you can. It's a test server. Trove test server, you can't test things. That's just how it is. Can you buy these? Nope. Trove on the test server, not buying anything. This, to me, is the worst executed update. Not the idea. The idea is as expected of modern Trove, or more recently with Trove updates. It's just like okay. It's like down there with like gardening levels of like kind of ass. It's just essentially just put something and wait. It's just gardening essentially. But my problem is like the fact that it is forcing the players to spend instant complete tokens or wait an obscene amount of time. Like waiting a week. Are you kidding me? Waiting a week for a quest for a 10th of an item required for one ally? Or heck, even for something like these, which they put it so big in like the patch now, like, oh yes, you can just get not just one quest, you can get 3 quests, but you can upgrade up to 6. And then you realize that, oh yes, you need an item that costs 1,000 credits on the store, or the 5-star dungeon where you need to wait a week to get one just for 4 quests. Woohoo! Then for 5 quests, oh, now I need 2,000 credits and we'll do 10 of the 5-star dungeon quest. And then, oh, for this one, 3,000 credits. And do this 100 times, and do the 5-star dungeons 100 times. They think that the value on some of this stuff is much greater than it really is. I've recently been playing a bunch of different games and a bunch of different updates and a bunch of different stuff, and it's like I put it like this. It requires 100 and like right now it requires 168 hours, give or take, for one quest, from one 5-star dungeon quest. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, that is 168 hours. That is a week. in a week, in like 100 hours of game time, I managed to complete one of the more grindier games that people can, well, not I'm not necessarily 100% it, but I got it essentially almost to the end of the game, which I played this guy at 4. I played this guy at 4. This guy at 4 is considered one of the more grindy games, and it took me roughly 100 hours of game time to complete that game. And for one quest, it requires 168 hours. Holo Cure, I 100% that game with all 200 achievements and all 82 of the collectibles, like the fan letter collectibles. That was 260 hours. So it took me. It takes you less time to complete Holo Cure, a free-to-play game, by the way, completely free, to 100%. It takes you less time than doing 2 quests of the 5-star dungeon to get 20 Gilderana, which you need, which is not even half of the cheapest allies. Like that got me like really thinking, like, god damn, like the Trove devs really have no idea about the concept of time whatsoever. And then they wonder why people are quitting. Why is a lot of people quitting? Why the player base is dwindling? Outside of, like, obviously the marketplace and all the problems, is just stupid stuff like this. This is the stupid thing that just it just irks me about this game. Like seriously. Genuinely, seriously, this is awful. Updates like this is just awful. Like, let me just go back into some of the older updates. I have True Source, yes, I do have True Source. This True Source is not even getting updated that much. The last update that we got, my stream is already in Trove Source. My stream is already in Trove Source. So the last update that we got on Trovesaurus showcase is Trials of Luxon, so we did not get we did Trials of Luxon the last update. What the hell? How many updates are we missing? Radiant Pathfinder, Block Party, and that's it. Block Party and Radiant Pathfinder, and now this one. We're still missing all of those, like at least those 2 updates on showcase on the Trovesaurus website, which is not even there, not even updated. Either way, let me just break down like some of those updates and just talk about like how combine all of those updates with this one, right? Oh, great. The Radiant Pathfinder is broken, so oh well. So the Trials of Luxon. Let me just go into the Trials of Luxon. The Trials of Luxon, I got pretty much essentially every single item in a week before they brought the new items. Well, let's just say it took me 2 visits of Trials of Luxon to get everything. It still was Like, how many dragon coins it does it cost? Like 400 or 500 dragon coins just to get the new dragon, or the Trials of Luxon dragon, which requires you to grind at least like 20, like 15, 20 hours or so to get enough for the eggs. 400. You need 400 of these, which is 400 dragon coins, just to get this dragon. And then they also wanted you to spend probably 20 plus hours in the Trials of Luxon just to get one dragon. That's one item. Then we move on to stuff like this, where we got this in Rising Tides, where this one took so long to actually just obtain, or getting the enough fishbone to get, because these only drop from trunks and they don't drop all the time. So you need to probably grind hundreds, maybe 100 something hours worth of trunks just to get one of these, or just to get enough of these for the dragon. Same goes with the 400 dragon coins and the essence, but the essence and the dragon coins will take you, well, at least the essence will take you less time than the fishbone. And then they expect you to do that exact same thing. Actually have enough for this dragon. But they expect you to do the exact same thing with these two. And all of these dragon got dropped in the same update that we got Mystic Gear, which also takes hundreds of hours to obtain. Like, it's like you if you break everything down, the time requirement for a lot of things in Trove is just absolutely ridiculous, especially now with no market. Gear crafters. So for gear crafters, where before you used to get like the cinnabar and the resources from the market, not anymore. You have no trading, no market, so you cannot even buy all of these. The same goes with like the other resources like Shavestone, Formicide, and then later down the line with Ember Slag and Irradium, or without mentioning the Stellar Souls and the Cinnabar, which require you to actually just grind for all of these items. And that is just to even start getting gear. And then if you want to just go ahead and start messing with the Star Shard, you need God knows how many of the Astral Echoes just to get Celestial Sphere. You get Astral Echoes for either spending weekly Dispel Divinity, getting them on a cooldown on dungeons, or this tome right here, which costs credit. So it's going to take you probably hundreds, probably even thousands of hours to actually just obtain that. Do you want the dragons? Well, good luck. That will take you hundreds or even thousands of hours of waiting because of the dragon coin. Now this is going to take you hundreds or even thousands of hours, more than likely. Well, this is going to take you thousands of hours to actually just obtain that. Speaking of which, if you're not spending the credits, actually that actually makes me want to check. Let me just put the calculator right there so you guys can see. All right, it is 165 quests, right? And each quest will take you 168 hours. That is 27 hours and well, not 27,000 hours. Which, if you divide it by 24, that is 1,000 days. And if you divide that by 12, That is 96 months. 96 months. If my assumption is correct, let me double check. Let me just go into the Google. 165 times 168 in months. 168 days. No, it's 100. How the hell did I even manage to do that? Hold on, let me double check. Let me put this. I'm just getting so confused right now. Okay, it is 168, no, 165 weeks in months. Yes, there we go. 165 weeks in months is roughly almost 38 months, which is a little over almost 3 years and 2 months. That's how much you need to wait. 3 years and 2 months. That's how much it requires to get enough for all of these. Even if you divide that by 3, which, by the way, you still need like 12 allies at level 30, but let's just assume that, that's still over a year of waiting. So, yeah. And doing that every single week without missing, by the way. Which is, by the way, it is 27,000 hours. 27,720 hours. Which is, again, 1,155 days. A lot of people that are in the end game don't even have that amount of time, play time in this game. All of that for these allies. Not counting these items. Yeah, that I think that should give you an idea of how ridiculous everything is. How everything just got turned for the worse. But I don't have a lot more things to cover in this game. Or rather in this stream. So I think I will end it right here. It's a shorter stream. Yeah. $27,000 hours. I cannot believe that they thought, 168 hours just for a 10th or a 5th of the allies, for the cheapest allies. There are 20 allies. Good. It's only a week. It's no big deal. It's only a week for garbage allies that no one is going to use. Crazy. on a game with no market. Busted credit pouches and I can't believe it. Anyways, I'm out. Thank you everyone for dropping by as always. I don't know if I will just return to do more Trove stream. I'm going to be sitting down and making videos on other games that is not Trove. So sorry if you don't like me posting other stuff that is not Trove. But you already know what we're dealing with this garbage ass game. I'm only just doing this stream because I just needed to highlight this. And I don't feel like making a video just talking about it. Maybe I can just cut everything down and just make it into a highlight stream. Who knows? I don't know. Don't think so. But who knows? Who knows what's going to end up happening? With all that being said, thank you everyone for dropping by as always. I know this was a bit of a random stream. I will go back and just start making videos that no one is going to watch on other games. And maybe, who knows, maybe if I feel like coming back into streaming, I might stream other games that I have planned on doing. Which there are some games that I really want to just go ahead and just try it out. Those might do it off stream, might do it on stream. Who knows? It all depends on how I feel. Thank you everyone for dropping by, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Keep on hunting. This update sucks. I don't know what the hell the devs are thinking.